Hello. I'm Rory. I am mostly a Blizzard gamer. I played World of Warcraft a lot. I've always loved StarCraft, but I've always known that I wasn't good at it. And I know, like, back when I was younger, I knew I was never gonna get good at it. But now that I'm older, I've decided to maybe take a second look at it and give it a shot and use YouTube as a tool to see progress, maybe connect with some people, get a few ideas on how to improve, maybe strategies, talk, whatever, StarCraft. We're going to look at a game that I played here against Terran. I personally don't like Terran, like playing against Terran. I find them to be hard to break. Kind of one of the things that I have issues with is the tank lines. Generally, just doing your attack move doesn't work against Terran, so you have to find ways to break them with a little bit of strategy, find a hole. A lot of times the Zergling Rush works against them. I don't like to do that. I want to try and get my macro a little bit better. Some of my weaker points is my APM. I'm working on hotkeys and trying to figure out how to improve, get a little faster with the fingers. The game I'm showing here is against someone who I think is 150 MMR. I'm around the 1500 MMR. I don't really know where I belong personally. I played a little bit last season, and I came into this one placed about where I was last season, where I ended, and I've gained some MMR since. I think where I'm at, around the 1500, there's a lot of smurfing going on, and I found it to be more so when I was around the 1200, 1100. That was pretty toxic. I've watched a few guides on, like, tips and whatever, but I don't think there's much out there to just, I think a lot of it's just coached stuff, or like obviously there's content creators, but as far as like, for this build order you're gonna do this, for this, like they have a few of them for like crazy Zerg and whatever, but I feel like most of the people who play the game, for me, appeal to the other races. I don't know, you just like Google Brood War Zerg. I never really came up to too much content on how to improve and stuff like that. A lot of people stream, but there's not too much out there for like the beginner, right? The new guy. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna try and play and gain some experience. I've played for about maybe a month or two since coming back to Remastered. And I don't know, I'm finding it fun. I want to try and keep getting better. So what we're looking at is a game that is probably going to be bad for me, because again, this guy is 150 rating, higher than I am. I don't play well against Terran. Zerg versus Zerg for me is kind of a toss-up. It's kind of like a very volatile game, just very quick. Either you win or you don't, based on your Zerglings, your mutas, whatever. There's not exactly that much strategy, in my opinion, in Zerg versus Zerg. Terran, you have to be a little bit more... I feel like I have to outsmart him a little bit. And then Protoss, it's more of a macro numbers game. This is my opinion, and again, I'm not an expert in any way, shape, or form. This is just my interpretation early on in the lower MMRs, the opponents that I play. So this guy, I see him right here with my Overlord. He's going double star for it, and I've found that the Terrans are doing this, and I don't know if this is just commonplace against other Terrans, other Protosses, but against me as a Zerg player, I've been seeing this a lot. And I don't really know exactly how to handle it. So I go Hydra Den. What I really wanted to do in this game was do a lurker drop. So I went early lair and early Hydralisk Den, and then I see the double starport. I'm like, well, shit. So then I start getting my Hydra upgrades. I don't go for the lurker upgrade right away. He scouts it with his SCV there. He gives me a little bit of trouble with his vulture. I think I lose like 3 drones, kind of a big deal. I have 1 Hydra coming down to try and deal with it. I think that was... No, he kills 5. Oh shit. Okay. So, as you can see, I got a Spore Colony coming up, because I figure... I had a couple of games recently against Terrans where they just massed Wraiths. And I ended up doing okay. I got to my Hive Tech and ended up taking out most of them, but he had such a huge air army that he just won by just overpowering me. So this feels, in my opinion, feels kind of like a Protoss game, because he hunts the Overlords, right? I mean, everyone knows that the Protoss versus Zerg, they make a few Corsairs and they try and get your population cap knocked down. So I kind of was treating it a little bit like that. I'm getting my ranged upgrade here. I started mining gas early. What's crazy here is, like, now that I'm looking at the replay, his SCV count is really low. So his economy is actually probably a little bit worse than mine. Looks like he might be moving out to expand here. Normally, you see Terrans, they'll like double your worker count pretty early on with against Zerg, because we have the disadvantage of having hatcheries be the thing that makes everything, where they can just queue up a bunch. This is where I find it frustrating, is like they can queue up like 5 things. Like if I find my money piling up, I basically get punished because I didn't use my larva well enough, where they can just queue up a bunch and then kind of make up for it over time. So, I mean, just here you can kind of see some floating larvae. My money is a little bit low, which I guess is good, but I should be utilizing those a little bit better. So he's kind of just floating around. He's got a couple mines. He's got 1 addition to the starport. He's starting his command center. He's kind of just hanging out. So I still kind of wanted in my mind, I still kind of wanted to do a drop, because I knew this is a nasty choke here. On this particular map, it's really hard to come up there, especially against Terran. Like I figured, well, he's gonna have a bunch of tanks. Here's one right here. He's got the siege mode researching. So I was like, okay, I'm still gonna try and drop, because this is probably my chance to try and get some damage done. I figured, well, he's got a bunch of Wraiths kind of floating around. Let me make some Scourge, try and deal with them that way. Maybe kind of shake them. If anything, give myself a little escort for my Overlords to get into his base. So I'm just kind of macroing up, building a few more Hydras here and there. He's harassing me. I kept finding myself this game, he would pick off my Overlord, and I would get population capped, and then I'd have more floating larvae. So I'm kind of defending my mineral line here, macroing up. He's got 2 tanks at this point. I didn't figure he would have that many ground units, because I saw the double starport. So I almost, in my mind, I was like, well, maybe if I just went up, got my Hive Tech, got a couple of Defilers, just threw a couple of Dark Swarms up this ramp, I could get in there and take out a natural maybe, or kind of disrupt him. He ends up, I guess, not making as many raids as I thought he would. Now that I'm looking at it, he's only got 4. So maybe I could have just kept playing like a normal Zerg versus Terran. You know, get up to Hive, do your Defiler, your... I kind of like the Crazy Zerg. I've got some Scourge I'm going to try and... I figured he was hanging out. So I threw some Scourge out there. I think he kills 4 of them with like the flick shot stuff there. I mean, clearly this guy, he's played some StarCraft before. His Wraith micro was pretty good. Taking care of those. So here I am, loading up. I think I'm waiting for my speed to be done, which it should be done here soon. Yep, it just completed. So now I'm like, okay, let's just take most of my army, load it up in these overlords, and go down to the bottom of the map, then drop in down here. I don't know if he's looking for like some rogue expansion or something, or what he's doing. I know his vultures are doing that, but his wraith are just kind of putzing around. I was kind of looking for him with these Scourge, because I didn't want him to find this coming, which I think... Does he see? Yeah, he saw it. Well, I don't know if he saw it, but you definitely could have seen the edge of yellow coming down. I don't know if he's... It seemed like he responded to the... I don't know if he's got the vulture. If he's... Again, I don't know if he saw it or not. He definitely saw the Scourge running up. So he's coming straight. Oh, no, he's not. Anyway. So he's got actually... What are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 tanks now. Drops coming in. I think he might just have this on patrol or something. So he's got science facility coming. Yeah, I should have stayed lower there because he had Marines just sitting there. I think for the most part this goes well. Like the Marines get taken care of, the raids come down, they're not going to be much of a problem. But the tank line comes in, sieges up, and then my Hydras aren't really worth much. So at this point I was like, well, maybe I can throw some of my Hydras in the front, see what happens. Maybe I've had it in the past where like they see the drop and they, oh my gosh, they send everything they have in the back. But he left a few tanks up in the front here. He had the mines kind of block my way up there too. It's a really hard place to attack. It's a really bad choke. So that didn't do much. I figured, well, that's it for me. I was like, my population went to basically nothing. I didn't think I had much going for my macro at that point. He definitely took care of everything I had, and that's it for this. So I was like, well, screw it. We'll learn from that. So I think I could have been a little bit more aggressive on my expanding here, because he seemed like he was kind of like a turtle Terran. He didn't really want to move out. I mean, he didn't show any kind of... The only thing he did was send a vulture my way, so I could have maybe taken that and maybe put an expansion or two, kind of got my economy a little bit better. But yeah, that's it for this video, I think.